got arrested, we keeping that private. Buy me a Hyatt for Wyatt. I'ma make sure that you go on a diet. Eat from your plate, you can tell that I like it. You thought you was gonna bag my chick. Yeah, right.
How y'all living today? I'm your host, Zach SchuZ, Schumaker, and I hope you guys are having a very blessed day. Especially with everything going on right now, I hope I can bring you guys some joy, let you guys relax, and just have some fun. But before I go any further, make sure you hit the red subscribe button below so you don't miss anything on SchuZ Views. If you could also go and leave a 5-star review, a comment, like, whatever it is on whatever podcast platform you're listening to, I more than appreciate that. Now, why do you guys enjoy this episode so much? Well, especially if you're a Louisville fan, because you guys get to hear from your 2 top commits in the 2020 recruiting class, which is a top 25 class. Yes, it's going to be a special episode. You're not going to miss either one of those interviews. What else you don't want to miss, though, is, well, I'm bringing you a lot of big-time stuff. Obviously, SchuZ Views, Big Time, The Breakdown, and now Instagram Live interviews. You're not going to miss any of that, so make sure to head over to Twitter and Instagram so you don't miss anything. Now, you guys might know this by now, but this episode is brought to you by the Player Circle. Now, the Player Circle is the only social networking app designed specifically for grassroots basketball players and coaches. But so they create mixtapes, highlights, accomplishments, commitment edits, you name it, to get noticed by coaches and scouts all over the country. Download the App Store now. But with that being said, and we get right into the interview. So, Dre's interview is up right after this. I'm blessed to be able to welcome on the number 95 overall player in 2020, a 4-star, a top 20 small forward, and number 2 overall player in Indiana. He's, of course, one of the Louisville commits amongst one of the top 25 recruiting classes, and is one of the stars at Lawrence Central. And Dre Davis, what's happening, bro?
What's up with you?
Not much, man. So, let's just start off, though, in life right now. Obviously, we got a lot of stuff going on with the corona stuff. How's it affecting your day-to-day life right now?
It's kind of tough right now just because all the gyms closed, all the weights closed. Really can't communicate with too many of my friends, so it's kind of tough. Can't see family right now, but still lifting, still trying to, get up shots when I can. Just trying to stay focused.
Without a doubt, and obviously, you guys' season came to a close because of it, but you guys had a special run, obviously. 22-3. You and Nigel put on a show all year, both got All-American nominees. What was it like playing your senior year?
It was a fun year for me. It was probably one of the funnest years I had. It was fun just to be able to see my growth throughout all 4 years. We accomplished a lot throughout the 4 years. Got a lot of awards, self-awards, and as well as team awards. We accomplished a lot. So this was fun for me.
As you just said, we could go down a list of the awards, especially you and Nigel both won this past year. You guys won countless awards, but, what was it like just playing with each other, playing alongside each other, and getting all this done?
Yeah, that's my boy. I've been playing with him for the longest, so, it was fun. It's kind of sad that we got separated now, but that's my brother. That's a bond that'll never break. It was something that was like iron sharpening iron. We worked out together. If you seen him, you seen me. Always in the gym. He knew my spots. I knew his spots. He knew how to get me going. I knew how to get him going. So, just things like that made it fun.
And Nigel's obviously on the last episode, and he did talk about that. You guys have been together for a long time now, playing club, obviously high school together. That bond, like you said, is going to be unbreakable, and it's a special bond you guys built, obviously.
Definitely.
And as for you, though, just talk about some of your favorite moments in your high school career.
I'll say my favorite moment would probably be winning sectionals. That was the first time we did it since 2012, I think. So that was a huge moment, huge step forward for not only me, myself, and the team, but the program as a whole. Finally got to cut down some nets and got to see how that feels. Got to hold the sectional trophy, so that was a fun time for me.
No doubt, and talk about your relationship with Coach Gooden. Obviously, having the coach in a relationship with him is a huge thing in your guys' success. What was your guys' relationship?
It's bigger than basketball, He it's kind of hard to explain, but he's like a big. I can't say like a big brother, but you feel me? He's a role model in my eyes. It was something that I could come to him about anything on or off the court. You feel me? He always knew how to push my buttons to keep me going, or just to push me in practice or whatever. It's things, you feel me, off the court, he'll know what's going on. On the court, he'll know what's going on. So that helped our relationship and helped me on the court as well. It was one of those things where I could talk to him, talk to him on the side during the game. Hey, coach, this was going on, this and that. All right, cool, we can make adjustments. You know, it's rare that you get that. You feel me? So just the communication between both of us definitely helped, and you know, this is a relationship I think that will also last beyond high school basketball.
That's a special thing, and I mean, obviously, you said it's not something that all coaches and players get. So, I mean, for you, when did it officially click, or when was the time that you guys really bonded and had that just had that relationship start to grow?
So I used to go to open gyms with them, like my 8th grade year, so 7th grade year. So that's when I feel as though we started to build that relationship. But I feel like it really started to click my sophomore year. He was basically like, "Hey Dre, you know you got some minutes here and there, but I'm gonna really throw you into the fire this year. You and Nigel, I'm gonna throw you guys to the fire, see how you respond." And I feel like ever since then, our relationship has grown tremendously.
And you did something special. I mean, both you and Nigel, in terms of you guys were able to stay at a high school for, I mean, your high school career. I mean, what's it like staying at a school for that long, and especially seeing all the guys, especially top players, constantly shifting states and shifting schools?
Um, I feel as though like you start to, you feel me, build your legacy at that school. You feel me. One thing we wanted to do was leave our mark, and I felt as though we did that. Um, you know, it's all we've been growing up in this township for a while now, so you know, pretty much everybody know us. We know everybody, so it's a lot of support. It's a lot of love. At the same time, it's very competitive. So I felt as though this went a long way.
And for you, I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's coaches reaching out to you to possibly go play somewhere else. I mean, was there any thought of potentially looking at one of those options, or are you just always stuck in at staying at your school?
Um, I knew I wanted to stay there. I mean, obviously, I had other options. Um, I looked into them a little bit, but for the most part, I knew I wanted to stay at LC. You know, I already had built a great bond with Coach Gooden. That's something I didn't want to give away. I already had something special there with Nigel, with the teammates. It was just an environment that I couldn't leave no matter what.
I mean, we don't know exactly when you'll be able to get on campus with all the stuff going on, but I mean, being able to build a bond there and to build a legacy is going to be obviously a huge thing for you. And what's really your excitement to be able to get on campus?
Right now, I'm just excited to be there. Just try to get there as soon as possible, you know, with all this going on. So I definitely just want to get out there as soon as possible. Um, I'm just excited to get to work right away. Um, Learn my role, perfect my role, be able to accomplish my goals at the same time. Um, I love the environment, the atmosphere, the games at the Yum Center. I'm very excited for that. So I'm just ready to rock and roll, get it going.
And you talked about you growing up, you kind of envisioned, you kind of dreamed of being able to play and wear that Louisville jersey. I mean, when did that kind of click that, and you knew that that would be the right decision for you both as a player and for you to be able to play at your dream school?
Yeah, growing up, I always wanted to play for Louisville. But that, it was kind of easy for me when they, as soon as I decommitted, they jumped right on me. So that kind of made the decision easier for me.
And talk about that process. I mean, obviously, we know you commit to Nebraska. Another top player right now is yet to commit, obviously, Donovan as well. I mean, what was that original decision to go and decide you wanted to go play at Nebraska?
The original decision, it was very emotional for me. Um, with Coach Miles and Coach Lewis, who recruited me. He's another Indiana guy, so he recruited me very hard. We had some emotional ties there, which made the decision easier for me to go ahead and commit at the time. And at the time, it was very special for me. It was a school I felt that I owed a lot of loyalty to after the coaching change. So I gave it some time. I looked at some other options. I felt as though it was best if I had went ahead and decommitted. So, but I mean, like at the same time, I still got a lot of love for Nebraska, all the fans. They showed me a lot of support even afterwards, you know. There really wasn't too many people that was like, oh, boo, whatever. They still showing support. So I really appreciated that.
That's awesome. I think at the end of the day, I mean, when you put aside the basketball and ties in that, I mean, it is just finding the best place for you because we know that you have the goals of eventually playing in the NBA at some point, and to be able to make sure you're in the right situation is a key thing for you.
Definitely. I agree with that.
You're going to Louisville, and we know that they bring in countless NBA players. So for you going into a prestigious school like that, what is your expectation? How do you expect to approach your NBA draft eventually?
Right now, I'm just focused on my player development. I want to be the best player I could be in the moment. Just be able to grow into mold myself into that NBA type caliber player. Um, I feel as though Coach Mack, Coach Cahill, and the rest of the staff can help me do that.
And for you, they're going into a situation where there are quite a few people that are leaving, and obviously we know Jordan is officially hasn't made it yet, but likely projections are that he's going to go pro. So you coming in next year, really, where do you see your filling in? What's your role going to be?
Yeah, with the seniors and Jordan leaving possibly, and I think as of right now, I don't know really. I'm a versatile guy. I can, you feel me, fill many positions. I can play many positions. Um, I really don't like have like a say so like, hey, I want to play here. I can play wherever as long as I'm on the floor. Um, I'm versatile offensively and defensively. I can play. I can guard many positions as well. I think that's something that's unique to me. So I think that's one of my roles going into Louisville that they will take advantage of, being versatile.
Another guy that obviously is technically a part of your class at the moment is obviously Jay Scrubb. I mean, he obviously declared for the NBA draft, seeing what his options are that way. But for him, if he comes in next year, what's your guys' relationship like, and what would it kind of be like playing alongside him?
Um, I mean, obviously he declared for the draft, so he's obviously already an NBA type talent, NBA caliber player. So that's somebody I definitely want to be able to compete with, and learn as much as possible from him. Seeing that he is already has the chance to go somewhere I want to go. So just try to soak up as much information, as much knowledge from him as possible. Be able to compete with him. Like they said, you want to be the best, you got to go against the best.
And another guy that obviously has NBA hopes and high potential is your teammate you're teaming up with there in JJ. I mean, what's your guys' relationship like, and really what was the recruitment process, and kind of bring you guys both going to obviously the same school?
Uh, I feel as though we got a good relationship now. We was just talking, I think it was yesterday too. JJ real goofy, fun to talk to, fun to be around, a lot of laughs. So I think that'll be a good relationship. I'm looking forward to building on that as well. Um, Moving forward, I think we'll be good. You feel me? He's obviously a very good player, very good feel for the game. So I'm excited to play with him as well as compete with him in practice. Like I said, iron sharpens iron. So I think this will be a good, fun matchup for us.
And all three of you guys, obviously Jay once again, if he goes and all, but you guys are ranked three of the top 50 prospects ever to attend and commit to Louisville. So coming in with that, what's kind of the expectation and what's kind of the feeling knowing that you are three of the best players they've ever had?
Well, for me, I'm a competitor, so you feel me. I always like to win, no matter what. I'm gonna give it my all, try to win every game that I can. So, my expectations just, you feel me, go out there, do what you got to do to get the win.
And for you, I mean, throughout a recruiting process, we know obviously there was a lot of stuff behind the whole Louisville stuff a few years ago, and it took a little bit of time. Chris Mack's now come in, done an excellent job. So, what's as a recruit, does that have any play in terms of what the old staff did at Louisville, or is it just you come in kind of with a fresh slate, fresh mind?
No, it's definitely just coming with the fresh slate, fresh mind. I got to meet Coach Mack for the first time when my brother went on the visit. I seen how genuine he was, how down to earth, how caring, how kind he was. Obviously, we both share the same passion for winning. So yeah, definitely just going in with the fresh slate, fresh mind aspect.
Are people still like thinking about that, do you think, or are they also just kind of ignoring that fact as well?
I mean, I feel as though some people do still think about that fact beforehand, but I feel as though afterwards they actually meet Coach Mack, meet the new staff. I think that definitely clear all the air. I definitely think that thought will start to fade away from people once they actually get to meet the staff.
That's awesome. And just talk a little more about Coach Mack. I mean, obviously, once again, he did an excellent job this year. I mean, fourth in the ACC, just not an easy thing to do. I mean, what's it going to be like playing under him?
Um, like I said, him and the coaching staff, they do a real good job with player development, which I think helps on the court as well. Um, he's competitive. He competes. In practice, he's gonna have you competing. So I think that's a huge thing. Just going into the season, having everybody with the same mindset. We compete in every game, come to every game, play the best. Like I said, they have a great coaching staff. Um, I feel the coaching staff as a whole are real down to earth, real genuine people. You can stand up guys, people you can really go to talk to about anything on or off the court. I feel like those relationships help on the court as well. Each coach sees something different, and I think the different things that they see will come together great as a player. And I feel like with all these things in the factor, it's what help Louisville last season.
Were there any guys on the roster currently that had any kind of impact on your recruitment?
Yeah, I went on an official visit late October, I think. I got to hang out with David Johnson, Josh, Sam, Aiden, Hogan. Who else? I think that might have been it. basically, yeah, I think that was it. A lot of the freshmen. I hung out with a lot of freshmen. Just the experience with them was real fun. Some of them still hit me up. A lot of them still hit me up now. See how I'm doing, see what's going on, checking up on me by games. Just those relationships like that. Just being able to see that they reaching out shows they really care, and that went a long way.
Well, we see pictures of you guys, obviously, on your official visits. They're all different, but we don't obviously see the behind the scenes of each visit. So what separated Louisville, and what was kind of the process of your official visit day at Louisville?
Okay, so basically, first day I think was basically a lot of academics, knowing about because that's huge to me. Obviously, school comes first for me. So just learning about the academics, if they had what I wanted to do in the future, knowing my way around campus, stuff like that. Then I was able to hang out with the guys. Obviously, got to see a couple of museums or whatever. Went to the Muhammad Ali Museum. That was fun to be able to see that. I didn't know that was there. And then just being able to see a couple of practices, just knowing how Coach Mack coaches, how the other coaches react with the players. It was good to see that. Just basically just to get the feel of the environment. It's a real family environment, real competitive, but it's real fun to be around. So it's something that went a long way to making my decision.
And you talk about family a lot. I mean, obviously, I think that's a key thing for a lot of people. But for you, I mean, having that family atmosphere, that kind of just that brotherhood relationship. I mean, what kind of is that importance to you? And really, how do you feel yourself fitting in and being a part of that brotherhood at Louisville?
Definitely, growing up, family that means everything to me. I was always taught to love your family first. So being able to feel a part of that family meant a lot to me.
You talked a little about, obviously, Donovan, you guys commit to Nebraska together. I mean, what's your guys' relationship like, and really, what was it like being able to go commit and potentially play with him at the time?
That's still my brother. I got a lot of love for Donovan. Even before I decommitted, I hit him up, told him how I felt, and he was very supportive of me. Told me to make the best decisions for me, so that really helped out. Going into Nebraska, I was definitely looking forward to playing with him. Obviously, he's a top 100 recruit, hands down, even with the injury. As we seen, he came back, had multiple 30-plus point games, had a 50-point game. So, yeah, I was definitely looking forward to seeing that, but it didn't work out, unfortunately. But that's still my brother. I hope the best for him wherever he goes. I hope everything works out for him.
Without a doubt. And going back, just talking a little bit more about Louisville. I mean, I know fans have a lot of probably favorite players they've had of all time, but who's some of the guys, maybe a former Louisville player that you might remind them of?
Like Coach Mack said, I'm kind of more like a Dwayne Sutton. As of right now, I feel like that's somebody that I can symbolize, sort of, kind of, just a versatile guy. Somebody that can do whatever. That just really has the passion for winning. Gotta do whatever you gotta do to win. Whether that's this game just crashed the boards. This game locked down that defender. This game we need you to score. Just that versatility and the grit to win. I feel as though I compare closer to him.
Without a doubt. And for you, I mean, at the time once you decommit, you had a couple of options and offers, and you really went on a few other visits too you had set up. I mean, one was obviously you went with Xavier and Purdue, two things you set up. I mean, what were those schools like, and why did you really have interest in them?
Those two schools were also one of the schools that hopped on me right away. As soon as I decommitted, they hit me up. I think my very next open gym, Louisville came, and then after that, Purdue, Xavier started to come to. Just seeing Coach Painter and Coach Steele come to the gym to watch me open gym, the next couple open gyms, that was huge for me. That showed me, like, okay, yeah, they really cared. They really want me. That was huge for me. Obviously, those two coaches are great coaches. Matt Painter, a Hall of Fame coach, so that really went into consideration as well. Like, playing under them, I know I can get better. I know that they will be able to help me reach my dream.
When coaches started talking to you, reaching out, visiting with you, coming to your games, I mean, what was the feeling like, and how did you kind of handle yourself with it?
That's crazy you asked for. I still remember my first offer. It was my sophomore summer. We was in Dallas, I think. I was on the hike with the team. I forget, we was on team bonding. We was on a hike or something. I got a call from SIU. Told me it went off me. That was probably the best feeling I've ever had in my life. Just the relief there to know, like, okay, a school finally wants me. School's looking at me. So just to had that feeling went a long way. But it was kind of like, okay, what now? Keep going. Let's keep going. See what else we can get.
What was the feeling when you saw a coach come and watch your game?
Um, I think the first time a coach came to see us was the Adidas Gauntlet Championship. It was Tom Izzo, and there was a couple other coaches, but I really noticed Tom Izzo. I was like the first person, like, yo, it's Tom Izzo. Like, he really at the game. That's crazy. That feeling, it kind of put some pressure on you, some nerves. But no, it's just a great feeling to know that, hey, the college is starting to look. It kind of gives you that feeling like, okay, now it's time to get the job done. You feel me?
And obviously, we know for every single high school player, I mean, they dream of being able to play Division I and getting that first offer. Kind of, I mean, it's not official, but you know that you're going to be able to have your school paid for. And another great moment I know for you, which will be, is obviously when you first get a step foot on the college court, playing in front of all the Louisville fans. What's going to go through your mind when that happens?
I don't even know. Just sitting in the stands, watching them play. Every time I hear a score, the roars of the crowd. Man, it's crazy. So I don't even know. It's just something I'm going to have to answer when I'm in the moment.
For sure. Last season you played, you obviously had a great season. You put together a great team, and you obviously was once again with Nigel. But what was that experience like? What was your last AAU year like?
It was fun. I feel like, though, that was the best decision I could have ever made to go UIBL. That was definitely the most fun I've had in my AAU career. The guys that I played with, we built a brotherhood in that short amount of time. We still hitting each other up, still making sure we are all right. It was more than basketball. I feel like as though the EYBL put me in a good position to be more successful. You want to be the best, you got to go against the best. And I felt as though I was able to scale and see where I am compared to these better guys the higher ranked guys, the more notarized guys. It was fun for me.
And you, and obviously once again Nigel, I mean, you guys obviously both boosted rankings. I mean, attention, everything grew. And what was it kind of like seeing that, as both you talk about confidence growing for you, but seeing a lot of people start to recognize how elite you guys are?
Yeah, like I said, it was just a confidence booster. Like, okay, I can play with these guys. I belong in the court with these guys. It was just one of those things. Like, me, I'm a competitor, so I always want to win. I always want to prove that I'm the best on the court at all times. Just knowing that other people are starting to notice, it goes a long way to show, like, okay, all my hard work is paying off. It gives you that sense, like, okay, don't stop. Now we got to keep going, make sure they keep noticing, make sure I keep proving them.
And let's talk about your direct family, though. I mean, one person we know is obviously your brother. He's another top 100 player, top 75 player. I mean, just talk about you and his relationship.
We kind of got like a love-hate relationship on the court, but off the court, it's all love. I feel as though because of him, I am who I am. He makes me better in a lot of ways, on and off the court. I'm just happy to see his growth and development as he is for me. Being able to play with him, it helped me a lot. He was able to notice my weaknesses more than a lot of people were, just because he's around me all the time. He was able to help me grow as a player, even more so as a leader. And that was huge for me. So I'm really happy about having that season with my little brother. I'm looking forward to see where he goes from here on out.
And you just talk about that. I mean, I think everyone, every fan, every person loves seeing the brother relationship. I mean, we see countless amount of brothers team up, play with each other at different levels. And I mean, for you guys to be able to play at least one high school year is a true blessing and a special thing.
Thanks.
And seeing him now take over as Central Lawrence, I mean, what do you kind of expect from him to be able to take over that team and lead it?
No, I feel as though me and Nigel put him in a good position, just so he knows how to be able to lead. We put him in positions to where he had to struggle a little bit, so he knows what it feels like. Now he knows how to help others when they're struggling. Just the aspect of a leadership role. As a player, I think he'll be fine there. He can play. I think he's one of the best players in the country. I think obviously he can score the ball real well, but something that goes unnoticed is that he's an excellent passer. He's able to create not only for himself but others. So I think there's no doubt in my mind that he'll have trouble leading that team next year.
And he is a class of 2022, so it might not work out timing-wise depending on when you possibly go to the NBA, if there's a route eventually, but probably most likely, I mean, you guys both will be in the NBA eventually, so what would it mean to potentially team up and play at the next level or the NBA level?
Nah, definitely. I would love to be able to play with my little brother as much as possible. If time allows, if everything works right, and we are able to both play at Louisville, perfect. That's the best. Yeah, that's the best news I can have. You feel me? It's my little brother. If we can team up in the EVA, even better. You feel me? Both family can come to one game, be able to see us both. So that'll be a blessing for me and for him.
And I know one part about, obviously, I believe your family obviously has a high academic schedule. I mean, you talked about why academics comes first in priorities, and I mean, where did that kind of get established from?
My father, he don't play about that. He got one missing assignment, he on you about that. So he really established like that. That like I don't know how to explain. He established basically he ain't going for nothing for that school. You got to make sure all grades are in, no missing assignments, turn in assignments on time. It was a point of time where like no B's. So me and my little brother striving for all A's at all times. So he installed that in us.
That's awesome. And you talk about Louisville having the academics that you want. And so, what are you kind of looking to pursue at the college level for your degree?
So my end goal, if I don't make it to the league, I definitely want to be around sports. So I was thinking going into like sports agency. So I was going to take sports administration. Um, and then eventually I want to go to law school and get my law degree.
Eventually, the ball will stop bouncing. And I mean, even in NBA players, obviously, they have a lot of money, but it's just thinking about being able to do something else and having a backup plan, having other routes is a huge thing.
Definitely, I agree with that.
And before I let you go, I was like wrapping up with a couple different questions. The first one being, who in your life would you say has been your biggest role model?
Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna go with my father on that one. Um, he been through a lot in his lifetime, so he's been able to share a lot of experiences with me. He been able to give me a lot of life lessons, put me in positions where I didn't have to go through the things he went through. Yeah, it kind of just you feel me, put me in a position like now I want to be great for him. You feel me?
That's a blessing. I mean, just having, like you said, someone in your family, being a father or mom or whoever it is that can kind of help guide your path and make sure you're going down the right lane is an awesome thing.
Definitely, I agree with that.
My final thing I was like wrapping up with though is talking about faith. Obviously, being a man of God. I mean, how would you say God has helped get you to the point you're at today?
Growing up, I've been growing in a family, a Christian family, so we go to church every Sunday. We real faithful. Um, I just put all my trust in Him. I know everything I can control, I will control. I just gotta stay in the gym, keep working, put all my trust in Him. He'll work a way out. He gonna open doors. He'll find a way for me to be able to be successful one way or another.
Exactly. And that's what I think is so special about our relationship with God, obviously, is you know that He's got a path for you and it's on His timing. As long as you stick to your path and you find it, it's going to work out because you know God's going to put you down the right path.
Definitely, definitely.
Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on, my guy. Keep on doing your thing, and I can't wait to see you when you're playing at Louisville next year, man.
Right now, I appreciate you, dog.
No problem, bro. God bless.
God bless.
Dre's clearly going to be something special that Louisville fans are not going to miss watching. But before we get into the next interview, I need to talk to you guys about something. Recruits News, go check them out right now on Instagram. They're going to give you all the highest updates on men's basketball, women's basketball in high school, the commitments, everything, you name it. You're not going to miss them. Go check them out at Recruits News on Instagram right now. But with that being said, let's hear in JJ's interview. This interview is up right after this. I'm blessed to welcome on the number 83 player in 2020, a 4-star, a top 10 power forward, and the number 1 overall player in Kentucky. He's one of the star players this past season, and he was now one of the top players in commits to Louisville. And JJ Traynor, what's going on today, bro?
Nothing much, just chilling. How you doing?
Pretty good. Let's just get right into this. I mean, obviously you guys have a special recruiting class, top 25 class. Right now, obviously one of the guys in Jay, we're not sure exactly what he's going to do with the NBA and all, but talk about at least you and obviously Dre.
I think we're both very good players, but I think he's more of a versatile. I feel like we're just very good and we'll fit in the system next year.
Both of you guys are top 100 players. I mean, once again, it's not even including whatever Jay does, but I mean, obviously you guys could easily be a top 15, top 10 recruiting class.
Yeah, I personally, I think Jay may go, but we'll see what happens.
So talk about your relationship with Jay. I mean, obviously we know right now he declared for the draft at this point, but I mean, have you had any contact with him and what's that relationship like?
I have a pretty good relationship with him. We work out all the time. We actually worked out last week, but I don't really talk to him about what his plans because I don't want to get in his business. But if he comes to Louisville, that would be big for us. But I also want him to help out his family too.
Absolutely. And so when you're going through the recruiting process, talk about kind of how it went with you and Dre. I mean, did one of you guys kind of help kind of recruit each other, or did you guys both kind of commit on your own?
We kind of know each other. I played against him in the All-Star game my junior year, and I met him. But he was committed to Nebraska at the time, and I didn't really have many offers at the time. But over the summer, I picked up more offers, and then we both committed. So we been texting and building a friendship.
What was the process like getting your first offer and then just kind of blowing up from there?
Well, after my junior year, I wanted to get a lot of work in, just grind to get to that level. And then once I picked up my first offer from Western Kentucky, a lot of mid-majors started hitting me, and then we just kept working, and I started to reach out to the high majors, and then I got ranked in the top 100, and that's when I got noticed. I started working out for more schools, including Louisville, and I started picking up more offers.
And what was that kind of like? I mean, what was kind of like your emotion when you first started getting recognition?
I loved it. I mean, from having no recognition to having it all, it was a big deal to me and my family. So we just try to stay humble and keep working.
What kind of impact to be able to have that family ties at Louisville already?
My family did play a big role in my decision, but I wasn't gonna let that sway my decision. I wanted the decision to be for me, and having my dad play and my high school coach play for Louisville, they pushed me towards there, but I always just wanted to do what's best for me, and they were gonna be behind me, stay with me behind any decision. But once Louisville gave me that offer, it was the right fit for me. I felt like I wanted to stay home, and it was the highest ACC, one of the best conferences, and just I want to be great here, so that's why I picked here.
And you just talked a little about your high school coach. I mean, obviously you guys had to have a good relationship to be able to put up the kind of numbers you guys did there, and he did play at Louisville as well. I mean, talk about your guys' bond and really what it's like.
We have a good bond. We joke all the time. I've been knowing Coach B since I was about nine or so, 10 or so, and I've always went to camps with him. And then because I was in primary school at Barstown, I've been living in Barstown since I was about 7. But when we got in high school, my freshman and sophomore year, he always saw something in me, but I didn't really put in the work in, and I wasn't really committed. But after junior year, during my junior year, I got with him and Dion, and we worked a lot and continued to get better.
When was the moment that kind of clicked for you that you knew you kind of had to start turning up the work ethic and kind of start producing at the level you want to?
Well, that was after my junior year when I was disappointed in how we lost and how I felt like I wasn't going to be able to play high D1, which I felt like I could if I just got there. But so that really motivated me and just kept me going. And once you get the recognition, it makes you want to keep going even more. So just keep working.
Let's talk more about your season this year. I mean, you had an incredible year. I mean, 20 points, 11.2 rebounds. What really went into kind of leading this team and kind of getting you guys to the next level?
Well, we started out slow. We had one of the toughest schedules in the state, but we just everybody had to find their role and play it, and that was the key. And then just having players do what they do, and everybody. And I try to be a leader, and another point guard try to be a leader. And those guys started listening to us, and we just started clicking. And then for me, I say this beginning of the season, I started slow. I was getting used to double teams, triple teams, and defensive adjustments. But after I got used to it, started getting in my game, started hitting my shots, it was like by the time region time, I was on and had some big games in the region.
I mean, you were able to win Southern Field Kentucky Player of the Year. I mean, what was that honor like?
It was a big honor, something I've always wanted to do growing up. Just want to continue patting my accomplishments and milestones in college, and that's what I look forward to.
No doubt, and obviously that's where you'll be heading. Obviously, whenever that is, obviously with all the stuff going on right now. But and when you get there, what's some of the stuff you really want to work on to be able to get ready for the season?
Definitely, I want to get stronger and work on my body because I feel like my skill set is almost to where it needs to be, and we're gonna keep working on that to where I can have a chance to get into the league. But just working on my body is a big part.
Without a doubt, and I mean, talk about your relationship with Coach Mack. Obviously, you had a great year this year, but really, what's your relationship with him?
I have a good relationship with him. We talk all the time. He seems like he is a nice guy. He cares about his guys and cares about me, and he showed a lot of interest in me. That's why I went there. Feels like it'll be home and it'll be a guy I can play through stuff with and guy that push me too.
Absolutely, and I know a lot of people when you talk about Louisville. I mean, obviously there's stuff behind them with the whole Rick Pitino stuff a few years ago, but for you as a recruit, when you look at that, do you kind of just wipe that stuff away and look at it more towards the new team and the new era, or what's kind of your thought about that?
Um, for a second, we were talking about that. We had a lot of questions. You know, anybody would have questions for that because they don't want their eligibility or being able to play a tournament taken away. So we asked questions, and Louisville's pretty much done with all that. They aren't going to get hit big or nothing like that. So it's pretty much nothing to worry about.
I know for some people, obviously, when you look at some of the schools like Louisville, like Kansas, and all, I mean, some recruits are a little scared away from that. So if you're trying to like entice another guy, maybe in the 2021 class, what's kind of your pitch to them if they are concerned about it?
Nothing's gonna happen. If anything happens, it'll be this year. If you're 2021, really nothing's gonna happen. But if something happens this year, it'll be small. Like there's no way they're gonna do anything big, and it shouldn't affect us at all.
And let's talk about your recruitment process. I mean, Cincinnati, I believe, was #2 for you. I mean, and you had a few other schools in the running, but just talk about the schools that you also were considering.
Definitely Cincinnati was my second favorite. It was about 50-50 with Louisville and Cincinnati. I was pro Cincinnati most of my recruitment, and I had a good relationship with all those guys. I had a good relationship with Western too. I like Western. Um, I like DePaul a little bit. I liked a couple other schools, but it was mainly Cincinnati and Louisville that I was looking at, and it came down to the wire. But just building a better relationship with Coach Mack and getting to know him better. And I know some of the guys on the team, and that played a little influence. And ACC is obviously better than the American Conference, so it's better for me for my dream and stuff like that. So I feel like it was the decision.
And talk about that recruitment process, because as we talked about earlier, I mean, it didn't really start picking up till just about a year ago. And I mean, it kind of was a lot quicker for you figuring it all out. So kind of talk about the process from when you first started doing visits and all that to obviously your commitment.
It was fun. Visits, I want to say, I went on like an unofficial to Louisville my junior year. I didn't have an offer or anything, but it was just really fun. I was like, I want to go on more visits. So after the season, when I went on my first Western visit, it was really fun. And I want to say, where did I go after that? I went to visit Ball State, went to some more, and went to Cincinnati twice, went to Louisville twice, went to Western again, went to Kentucky, Xavier twice. Yeah, all those visits were pretty fun and just got to meet a lot of people, but they do play a big role. They're going to advertise. They're going to put their best foot forward. They're going to show you their brand, their locker room, and just try to make you want to come there.
I think when you talk about that, I mean, obviously let's just talk about Cincinnati and Louisville. I mean, what's some of the comparisons in terms of how your day went when you went on a visit there?
Louisville did do something special. They had like these really cool videos about like local kids going to Louisville, and they had these really cool videos of like my highlights, and they put it like in Louisville terms. That was really cool. And then Louisville being able to play on the court with some of the guys, that was pretty fun. Cincinnati, there was some pretty cool things too. Cincinnati's just atmosphere was really fun. Going to the football game, met a lot of people. It was crazy in there.
What was kind of the impact of wanting to stay close to home for you?
I have a good relationship with my trainer. I'm actually staying down here with him right now, and just stay in the gym with him and stay close to my mom, stay close to my family. But I wasn't too lenient, like going 4 hours at the most away. But I still want to stay in this area, so that's what most of my schools were around this area.
That's awesome. And when you talk about next year going in, Louisville's obviously losing quite a few guys. One guy we're still seeing what he's going to do in terms of the draft as well with Jordan. But talk about some of the guys that how are you going to be able to fill the shoes? How are you going to be able to step in and replace them?
I think we're ready. I think we'll be better next year than most people expect us to be. I think people are underestimating some of the guys on the team. Like David Johnson's a really good player. A couple other guys, but it's just I can't say how good some of the guys are because personally I've never seen like a couple of them really play for real. But I think we'll be good. We got Malik Williams returning too. He'll be a leader, senior, and we should get two more players or another player by the time the season starts. So.
And for Louisville fans, obviously a lot of people like kind of having the comparison. So someone that you kind of base your game around or you kind of a lot like?
NBA player, I say I play like a Rudy Gay type player. Rudy Gay, somewhere smaller Kevin Durant type player.
Kind of talk about how you see that translating to the NBA.
Well, I think the best part about my game is I can play in and out. I grew up playing the post, but like lately my perimeter skills are just as good, or if not better than my post skills. So just being able to like notice my defender. If he's a smaller guy, I'm going to take him in a little bit. But if he's a bigger guy or my size, use my quickness to get around him. And I think that'll help me because that's kind of where the NBA is going, to guys that can do everything: dribble, shoot, pass, post up. You got to be able to do multiple things to survive in the league, and I feel like I'm that fit for that.
Hey, how do you plan to approach the track record of becoming an NBA player?
The most, I want to do 2 years at the most in college. That's the plan. That's our plan, but I don't really plan on trying to stay more than that. I just want to do my 2 years and try to get in that draft. But if the situation comes where I need to do extra years, I have no problem playing for Louisville more than that. But my goal is to be 2 years and done.
What would it mean for you when the time comes to be able to play in the NBA or get drafted?
That would mean everything. I mean, dream come true. Grew up wanting to play in the NBA, so being able to actually do that and show out for my family and put that name out there, that mean a lot to me.
Absolutely. And you talk obviously a lot about your family. I mean, we talked about your dad before, but talk about the importance of family to you.
It's very important. I stay with my mom, and it's basically me and my three brothers. But we just always stick together and always got each other's back. So I know, and my grandpa plays a big role in my life, and I just hope they can all come to the draft when it happens and support me.
Couldn't agree more, man. And part of the reason when you started blowing up was playing on the UAA circuit. I mean, what was it like playing on that circuit?
It was different. Growing up most of my life, I actually never played AAU. I played my sophomore year a little bit, but I got hurt. So last year was really like my first year playing AAU. So I got to play against a lot of competition, playing in front of a lot of coaches. That was new. I never really played in front of that many coaches before, but being able to do that brings a whole new pressure. But I just got my head right, played through it, and played my game and showed out for them.
And not only that, I mean, you walked away being named Breakout Player of the Year in many different categories, many games and tournaments. I mean, what was it like going in there, still like you said, not really a known player and coming out as being one of the top players in the country?
Well, I just thought of it like it's the same as if a high school game. Like, try to keep my head on straight. And one of the games, I want to say Evan Daniels, the 247 Sports guy, he came, and my coach told me before that he was coming. So I was a little nervous, but I had a big game, and that's when my name really got out there. And multiple college coaches was there the next day calling my phone, and that's what a couple weeks later, I started getting the rankings.
That's awesome. Before I let you go, I was like wrapping up with a couple of different questions. The first one being, who in your life would you say is your biggest role model?
My biggest role model? To be honest, my mom, most likely, yeah.
I mean, God always puts different people in our life. They kind of help guide our paths and get us down to the point He has for us. And having it be a parent or family member is a huge thing.
Yeah, she's very hardworking, so I try to mod that and try to be like her as much as I can.
Absolutely. And my final question I was like wrapping up with just talking about faith. I mean, being a man of God, how would you say God's helped get you to the point you're at today?
Definitely a lot. My mom's big on God, and so am I. So just keep trusting in Him, and anything's possible. Definitely, we still go to church a lot, and still want to keep Him in my life because nothing would be possible without Him.
Couldn't agree more, man. Definitely is always there to keep you, and obviously you're on the right path, man. So keep on doing your thing.
Thank you.
No problem, bro. Thanks for taking time to come on, my guy. Keep on doing your thing, and can't wait to see you at Louisville next year.
Thank you. No problem.
No problem, bro. God bless.